Let's go to Ashley St. Pierre Rogers, Folsom, Louisiana. You can't even fit her name on the board. Look at this, rookie. This young lady's a rookie in 2021. Let's bring in the 8-year-old gelding she calls Junior. All the way to 3. Come on back.
Hey guys, I'm Ashley Rogers. Thank you so much for joining me on my page today. First things first, if there's anything that I do not cover, please feel free to comment with any question you might have. I may kind of like be a nerd and have read the rule book 3 times, and I'm planning on reading the new 2022 rule book here shortly. So I know a fair amount of the rules and how things work, and if I can't answer your question, I'll do my best to find someone who can help and answer that question. And also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my page and like this post, as I would really appreciate it. Okay, so getting into today's video, there's several things that I think every rookie should know. Let's say you just bought your permit, or you're thinking about buying your permit for the Women's Professional Rodeo Association and would like to go to some rodeos. There's a lot of little things to know. Like for myself, I don't like to go somewhere and not know, like, you know, all the logistics. So all the little things is what gets to me. It's not the competition part. It's not like who's watching me. It's not, oh, am I gonna win or not? That's not what gets me stressed out. What gets me stressed out are the little things, like, okay, where do I park? Where do I put my horses? Like, what do I do if I win? Like things like that. So getting into that, number 1, the condensed drag rule versus a regular drag. If you look at any rodeo in the ground rules on the WPRA website, it may say tractor drag at 5. If it says tractor drag at 5 or 6, because a performance can have 10 to 12 girls in it. So it would either say tractor drag at 5 or 6. If it says that, then it's going to be exactly that. Let's say you're number 5 in your drag, and the 4th girl, and I'm not going to do that because that would be inappropriate. Okay, let's say you're number 5 in your drag, and the number 4 girl and number 3 girl turn out or release or whatever, right? That means they're going to run 1, 2, then you, and then drag again, okay? Now, the way the condensed drag rule works a little bit different. Let's just say it says condensed drag at 5. So what's going to happen is, let's say you drew up and you're number 6, okay? And in the first drag, because they're dragging every 5, right? Number 2 and 3 turn out. They will not drag after this 5th girl. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, you, the next girl, for a total of 5, and then they'll drag again. So you're going to go from top of the ground to 4th on the ground. So sometimes this works out in your favor, sometimes it works out against you, which kind of sucks, but that is something new. I can tell you, them dragging at the NFR halfway through the barrels was a complete game changer for all of us. So many rodeo committees and stock contractors saw that and followed suit and realized, hey, wow, if it's important enough to do that and they can make it happen at the NFR, like, let's step up our game and do so. So we are so blessed. We went from like a lot of rodeos, a high majority of the rodeos, dragging at 10 or 12 girls. Now, so many of them, like, I would venture to say the majority, if not more than the majority, are now dragging at 5 or 6, which is amazing. So if you have an opportunity to see a committee member or a stock contractor or the person dragging, go thank them. It means so much to them, and just let them know, hey, sir, I just wanted to thank you. It really means a lot to us. It's really a game changer. It levels the playing field for us, and we really appreciate you. That will go a long way to show that we actually care and it's being noticed, that their efforts are not for, you know, just going by the wayside, and that we actually see them. Number 2, how to do a trade. Okay, so let's say you drew up in slack, which is very likely for a permit holder, because the card holders have preference over a permit holder. So if a card holder asks for a performance and you ask for performance, they're going to get that before you will. So let's say you drew up in a slack and you really, really need the Friday performance, and there's 10 girls and you reach out to them asking them for a trade, and one girl so graciously said, you know what, it just so happens I can trade you. So now what do? what you do is you call the Procom local line. If you need that number, comment below. I'll send that to you privately. Make sure you have your card number ready. That's very important because like that's literally, they're gonna ask that right away. So you give them your card number, you tell them your name, say I'm calling to initiate a trade. They're gonna say, okay, for what rodeo and who are you initiating a trade with? You tell them whatever the rodeo is, Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm gonna be trading Jane Doe, okay? At that point, they're going to write it down. They're going to say, okay, just to confirm, you, Ashley Rogers, are trading your slack on whatever date with Jane Doe for her performance position number 2. You tell them, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, whatever. They'll give you a confirmation number. Then you have the person you're trading with. You call Jane Doe or you message her saying, hey, I initiated a trade. Can you please call and confirm? At that point, that person you traded with is going to have to call the Procom, same number, local line, and say, hey, I'm just calling to confirm a trade, give them the information. Once it's done and that person that you traded with tells you, hey, Ashley, I initiated the trade, we're good to go. At that point, they're pretty good about updating on our portal the trade sheet. If you need to know how to get a trade sheet, I may do a video on that later. If enough of y'all ask for that, then I can do a video on it. If not, just put me a comment and I'll send you that information privately. But if you look on the updated trade sheets, it should say pretty quickly that your position changed. So you would go now, look on the trade sheet for the performance that you traded for, and it should have your name. If not, you can always call Procom back and say, hey, I'm just making sure that the trade was confirmed. That's it. Pretty simple. Okay, tip number 3. You remember how I said that, like, the little things is what kind of worried me? Well, I used to think like, okay, what happens the first time I go to a rodeo? What if I happen to like luck out and get like a check? You know, like what do I do? Do I have to go pay them like my entry fees before? Like what if I get there at the last minute? You know, all these things go through my head. So I'm gonna help you out. When you get to the rodeo, if you have time, it's always a good practice to go to the secretary's office. They'll have a picture of some pertinent information, but also you get to meet the secretary and sometimes other people that may be helpful. But at that point, you can go and pay your fees via cash or check. If you don't want to pay your fees and you just want to go up there anyway and just you want to pay online later, that's fine too. I do that all the time as well. If you choose not to pay your fees at the rodeo, it's okay. You just have to make sure you don't forget. Your fees have to be paid by 3 o'clock Mountain Time on Tuesday. Trust me, you don't want to forget. I would be like embarrassed to like tally up how many fines I've gotten from forgetting to pay my fees by 3 o'clock Mountain Time on Tuesdays. Like, it's a lot of money. It adds up. I've learned my lesson, I think. Hopefully, probably not. Those $50 fines add up really quickly, so just make sure you do that. Let's say you're very blessed and the rodeo's over with and you realize, holy smokes, I placed. Now what? How do I get my money? I had like $3,000 or something like that, some stupid amount of money sitting in rodeo pay because I'm like, when are they going to send me my check? No, I like completely forgot that I didn't set it up like that. So now anytime I place at a rodeo, it automatically goes into my checking account and it's super simple. You don't have to worry about it. So done, which is something you need to do. Like I would recommend doing that right away. Even if you think, hey, I'm not ready, I'm just kind of going to go get a feel and I don't have a chance to place, you never freaking know. Go ahead and set up your rodeopay.com account. If you need help with that, you know what to do. Numero 4. I don't know. Can you go in the arena before rodeo? Yeah, sometimes. A lot of times you can. It just depends on how early you get there. But my very first pro rodeo, I went in the arena. I was like, oh my God, the arena's open. Let me hurry up and saddle. Because I didn't think that was like a thing. I didn't even know you can get in it ahead of time. So I went, hurried up and sat on my horse, got dressed, put my cowboy hat on, put my shirt on, get in the arena. Yeah, there's like 2 people dressed like that. You don't have to be in full Western attire to go in the arena. If they open it up for barrel racers to go and ride in, just check the ground rules to make sure that's not a ground rule. That way you have to be in full Western attire, but more than likely it's not. The other thing is, don't circle the barrels like where the stakes are at. If you see the stakes, do not go make a little circle and pretend like you're running a barrel pattern because that is a huge no. Don't do it. Number 5. Read the ground rules for every rodeo. There's so much important information that you'll find in the ground rules. Like, for example, I went to Seguin, Texas last year. If you go off of the address to get to the Seguin rodeo that's posted, good luck, because you're going to be like in somebody's backyard in a neighborhood with a gigantic horse trailer that you can't even get out, and then you have to back out onto the highway. Not that I did that or anything, but you know what I mean? But if I would have just read the ground rules, I would have realized that it had a different address to put in your GPS, so that way you can get to the actual field that's open for contestants to park and has lots of place to park. So read the ground rules. It also has like some really cool information, like Seguin, Texas, for example. They have a spectacular hospitality tent. Hospitality is one of my most important and favorite things whenever I get to a rodeo. When I get there, sure, I want to win, but I also want to eat. A lot of times they feed the cowboys and cowgirls ahead of time, and they'll have a whole feast. For example, me and my daughter were like walking in to get our hospitality eaten. I was like, holy smokes, this is serious. Like a whole, like a smorgasbord of food. Anything you want to eat, they had it. Then a sweet little lady, I heard a little thing say, ma'am, would you like a margarita? Would I like a margarita? Which actually I couldn't get a margarita because it was for my run, and I can barely stay on without alcohol. So I was like, tempting, not gonna do it. But I did go back after the rodeo and had a little sippy sip of a little drink. That's it. Then we went to bed. But read the ground rules, people. Lots of good information in there. That's it. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe below. Thank you. Take care, guys. Ooh, this light makes me look glowing. I look like I have highlighter like those girls that do that. Ooh, Lord. But why I got... Ooh, hold my whole video don't look like that. Like, why I gotta have such a double chin? Be serious. Serious. Gotta be serious. Okay, serious. Take one. Ooh, look at my head. What's a freak, man? Yeah, I can't get rid of it. It's just like, it just won't go away. Go away, double chin. Yeah, there we go. I think it's perfect. I'm just gonna be like that. Like, maybe I need some tape. Just tape it and be like, oh, that would, no, it wouldn't work. I'm just gonna talk like this. No double chin. Why'd it have to be so weird?